Someone ignores your message. Your mood shifts instantly. Someone criticizes you in front of others. You replay it for hours. A stranger posts something online, and somehow your entire emotional state changes because of a person you've never met. You already know this happens, but here's what nobody tells you. This isn't weakness. This isn't a personality flaw. According to Carl Jung, this is the predictable result of something happening deep inside your psychology, something most people never become aware of. And the moment you understand what it is, other people lose their power over you completely. Stay till the end, because the concept Jung discovered explains why some people stay completely calm under pressure while others fall apart, and exactly what you can do to shift from one to the other. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and one of the most influential thinkers in the history of human psychology. He studied the human mind more deeply than almost anyone before him, not just surface behavior, but the hidden forces operating beneath conscious awareness. And one of his most powerful observations was this: most people are not in control of their emotions. Their emotions are in control of them. And the reason isn't lack of willpower, it's lack of awareness. Jung believed that until you make the unconscious conscious, until you understand what is driving your emotional reactions from beneath the surface, those reactions will continue to control your life. And you will call it fate. Here is what emotional reactivity actually looks like in daily life. Someone delays replying to your message. Instantly, your mind starts creating stories. Are they ignoring me? Did I say something wrong? Are they angry? Your entire emotional state shifts because of a situation that hasn't even been confirmed yet. Someone criticizes your work. You spend the next 3 hours replaying the moment, defending yourself in imaginary arguments, feeling shame or anger long after the actual event is over. This is what Jung called emotional captivity, when your internal state becomes completely dependent on external events. When strangers, notifications, and random situations have more control over your peace than you do. And the scary part? Most people never notice this is happening. They just experience it as, "That's how I feel," as if their emotions are simply facts about reality, rather than reactions happening inside them. Stay with me, because what Jung discovered about why this happens, and the specific practice he recommended to break this pattern, completely changes how you see your own emotional reactions. Jung's explanation for why people lose emotional control goes deeper than most people expect. He said that every person carries what he called a complex, an unconscious cluster of emotions, memories, and beliefs built around a core wound. Maybe it's a fear of rejection, a fear of not being good enough, a fear of being ignored or abandoned. These complexes form early in life, through experiences, relationships, and environments, and then operate silently in the background for the rest of your life. Here's how it works in practice. If someone developed a deep fear of rejection early in life, a simple, unanswered message becomes emotionally enormous, because unconsciously, it isn't just an unanswered message. It's activating a wound that says, "You are being rejected. You are not important enough." The emotional reaction isn't really about the present moment. It's about an old story the unconscious mind is still running. And this is exactly why logical advice, "just don't react, just calm down, just stop caring," almost never works long term, because the reaction isn't coming from logic. It's coming from something much deeper. So what did Jung actually recommend? He called it making the unconscious conscious, the process of becoming aware of your emotional patterns before they take over your behavior. Practically, this means one thing: learning to create space between the emotion and the reaction. Most people experience emotion and react in the same instant. Someone provokes them, they respond immediately. But Jung said the most powerful thing a person can develop is the ability to pause in that space, to feel the emotion fully without immediately acting on it. Inside that pause, something important happens. The logical mind catches up to the emotional reaction. You start to see the emotion for what it is, a feeling, not a fact, a signal, not a command. And slowly, a question becomes possible that most reactive people never ask. Is this reaction really about what just happened? Or is it about something older? That question alone changes everything. Because once you can see the pattern, once you can observe it rather than just obey it, it begins to lose power. Here is what Jung's kind of emotional control looks like in real life, because it's commonly misunderstood. It is not coldness. It is not emotional detachment. It is not pretending nothing affects you. Emotionally controlled people in Jung's framework often feel things very deeply. The difference is they have developed the ability to process emotions privately instead of performing them publicly. They feel anger, but they don't send the impulsive message. They feel hurt, but they don't make permanent decisions from temporary pain. They feel rejected, but they don't collapse their self-worth around one person's behavior. That separation between feeling and reaction is what Jung considered genuine psychological maturity, and the result is something most people mistake for mystery or confidence. When someone cannot predict your emotional reactions when you don't collapse, explode, or beg for reassurance on cue, you become psychologically uncontrollable. And people unconsciously respect that, because real authority was never about being the loudest person in the room. It was always about being the calmest. Jung spent his entire life studying what separates people who are driven by their emotions from people who understand them. And his conclusion was simple: it is not intelligence. It is not discipline. It is awareness. The moment you start observing your emotional reactions instead of automatically obeying them, the moment you ask, why am I really feeling this? Instead of just acting on it, something shifts permanently. Other people's behavior loses its grip on you. Insults lose impact. Rejection loses power. Situations that used to consume you for hours start to pass in minutes. Not because you stopped feeling, but because you finally understood what you were feeling and why. If this changed how you see your own emotional reactions, let me know in the comments. And if you want more ideas like this from history's greatest minds, subscribe. There is a lot more coming.